All right, we call it the Herd Hierarchy. Top 10 teams, I rank them. Obsessed about this stuff. I know it's just a list. Who cares, right? I do, so here we go.
Herd Hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
Well, to start the year, Buffalo was a coaching and defensive story, but they're now the quarterbacks, Josh Allen, who I thought had a chance to be a huge bust, is coming along. He has now had multiple touchdowns in 6 straight games. That's a real thing. Now, again, Lamar's taking, sucking up all the oxygen in the young quarterback room. Nobody's paying attention. Josh Allen's actually very athletic, gives you about 40, 50 yards rushing, throws no interceptions, 11 TDs, 1 pick in the last 6 games. And this is a defense that has gone 23 straight games not allowing anybody, any team, any quarterback to have over 400 yards. So what started as a defensive story and a coaching story, now I got a little wiggle on the offense, Buffalo at 10.
Number 9.
Kansas City. We'll know more in 2 weeks because this team's going to go to Foxborough in a couple of weeks, and that'll tell us a lot. Let's not freak out. They had a bye week, so I'm not going to move them up much. They are second in the NFL in passing yards per game and third in total offense. Their offensive line is better than league average, and I love their coach. So this was a perfect time for a bye. Let's get Mahomes another 10 extra days, a little bit of rest. Here we go. Patriots in 2 weeks. I have Kansas City at 9.
Number 8.
Green Bay. Now, again, let's not go crazy because they got smoked. Clearly, they struggle with physical teams. But they are 8th in giveaways this year, meaning they don't give it up much, and they're 9th in takeaways. They do take it away. So if you keep it and take away, you win a lot of games. But here's the issue, and I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is struggling, but, he's completing 64% of his throws this year with a great receiving core and a running game, so he's throwing on play action, and Jimmy Graham. Aaron hasn't been great. His passer rating's 100. He's been good. He has not been great. And we finally got him a running game and finally got him a defense and finally got him a progressive head coach. And I don't think Aaron's been that special. I think Aaron's been okay. I think if you asked Aaron personally, he would tell you he hasn't been special. So he was terrible on third down against San Francisco. I have Green Bay at 8.
Number 7.
I have the Cowboys a spot ahead of Green Bay, though Green Bay beat them, because I do think teams change. And I don't think we should completely overreact to Dallas's loss to New England. Dallas hasn't lost in Foxborough in like 3 years. My big concern with the Cowboys is they do not have a takeaway in 3 weeks. Translation is everybody's comfortable against Dallas. Sam Darnold was great against them. Kirk Cousins was great. I thought Brady played really well. Stats didn't show you. Jeff Driscoll was comfortable. I'm fine with the offense. This offense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. The offensive line, the weapons. Their defense makes every quarterback that's reasonably talented really, really comfortable. And, Darnold, Kirk Cousins, Jeff Driscoll, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady had their most comfortable Sunday against this defense. That's the problem.
Number 6.
New Orleans. They faded. They always start hot, right? Second straight year, 9-2 they started this year, 10-1 last year. Are they fading? A lot of people are like, they're starting to fade. I would say this to support New Orleans. Don't go crazy, because Atlanta and Carolina in your division give you a pushback. In your division, everybody knows Sean Payton's tricks and tendencies. So when you play a team over and over, and Ron Rivera has seen every trick twice a year from Sean Payton for 7 years. So sometimes in division, the great Seattle team struggled with Arizona for years because Arizona knew all Seattle's personnel and tricks. Here's what I like about the Saints. You can't run on them. They force you to throw, and they've got a real pass rush, and I get a Hall of Fame coach and quarterback. So don't get too concerned with these tough games in division. This is still a top team.
Number 5.
Minnesota. I think this is a top roster. I think it's the best roster in the NFL. I do. It's a running team first with a conservative head coach. We all know that Kirk Cousins is 4-8 over the last 2 years against teams that are 500 or better. Sometimes he's inexplicably bad. They fall behind Denver 20-0 at home. He got crushed last year at home by Buffalo and rookie quarterback Josh Allen. I do feel like the NFC Championship game is their ceiling, and I think they'll lose a game before the end of the year, so they'll be playing on the road in the playoffs. But it's in terms of total roster, I think the front office has done a remarkable job. The receivers that have 2 good tight ends, 2 good receivers, a star running back, big-time safety, linebackers, pass rushers. I think they've solved some of their offensive line issues previous couple of years. Minnesota, I have at 5.
Number 4.
New England. Now, Mohamed Sanu wasn't available Sunday. He's coming back. They got their left tackle back, and if you really watch the football game, they were absolutely better in their protection. So they've upgraded at left tackle. N'Keal Harry, I thought, this is going to be a real story. Brady needs another weapon when Josh Gordon left. N'Keal Harry had a touchdown. Philip Dorsett comes back. Mohamed Sanu, Edelman. Then if N'Keal Harry is a 6-target, 4-catch guy, that's another weapon they need, especially in the red zone. But 10-plus wins for 17 straight years. They are the model of consistency in the league. They're at 4. I still wish they had a better deep threat.
Number 3.
San Francisco, I love the coach, I love the D-line, and I really, really like the quarterback. Listen, they've have 44 sacks this year. And if you cannot protect, game's over fast. There's a Baltimore feeling to San Francisco. Like, if you don't have the linebackers that are good in space, Baltimore's going to knock you out first round. If you don't have an offensive line that can protect on the edge, San Francisco's just going to knock you out fast. There's a Mike Tyson quality to the Ravens and the 49ers. By the way, to Joy's point, Jimmy G, since week 9, is completing 68% of his throws. That's why when I say Aaron Rodgers not having a great year, Jimmy G is with a bunch of young receivers. He doesn't have a Devontae Adams. He's completing 68% of his throws. So he's better than people think.
Number 2.
I think the Seahawks. Here's an interesting thing that speaks to how smart they are and how well coached and how good Russell Wilson is. They are 16-4 in their last 20 trips to the Eastern time zone. Now, Seattle, I grew up there. It might as well be in Alaska. So they go to the East Coast, often play early, and they're 16-4. That would be a great home record. It shows you their preparation. It shows you their composure. 8 of their 9 wins are one-possession wins. They also added Jadeveon Clowney and Josh Gordon. Those are not just guys. We saw Clowney take over the Niner game. We know Josh Gordon, especially the way Russell Wilson works with everybody, could be a difference maker in a big playoff game. 6-0 on the road. I mean, we always thought Seattle was a home story. They've now become the league's best road story. That's scary.
Number 1.
Let's not waste any time. Baltimore's just knocking people out. It's not competitive. Not just 7 straight wins. And Lamar's, for the record, what's scary about Baltimore, if you'd have looked at their schedule 6 weeks ago, you're going to have to go to Seattle. And then you're going to play New England. Then you got to go out to L.A., Monday Night Football. It's not like they got a scheduling break. They're knocking out good teams. And Lamar's last 3, again, completion percentage, 73%. That's the league now. So I gotta deal with his running, and he completes 73%. Hard pass if I have an option. Baltimore number 1, there's no question. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.